So I'll start off by saying that my name is Candace. Everybody calls me Candy. And my home is a travel trailer out in the woods in Michigan on my uncle's property. So you'll see a lot of that. There's not too much wildlife out here. The only thing that I have seen so far would be like coyotes. And we think that we saw a mountain lion caught on camera. But we have yet to confirm that. Thank God there's not like nothing too crazy or anything out here. But yeah, like I said, it's off my uncle's property. So the house that my grandmother and that my mom was raised in, that house is around the corner, walking distance. But it's kind of just like me in the middle of, and there's wooded area. And then outside of the wooded area, there's houses and things like that. So there is, like, it isn't off the grid or anything like that. There's technically neighbors, just not in my area, thank God. So yeah, like I said, you'll see some woods, and I also do gaming, whatnot. I applied for Streamer University, but of course they're only putting people who are already known up there, which makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know. It's like if you're doing a Streamer University, that's what you're famous for. You would think that like you'd get people that are trying to get their platforms up there, kind of where yours are. Yeah, that's just my intake on it though. So I am mixed, meaning I'm a half-breed. My dad was Italian and Irish, and I believe German. And then my mom is African American. So my mom's side is the Michigan side. I have family all over Michigan, and Detroit, Niles, Grand Rapids, a little bit of everywhere in Michigan. And then my dad's side, the Caucasian side, is from Kentucky. So that's one heck of a difference right there. The one and only thing that I enjoy about Michigan is that smoking is legal. And then you go right across the border into Indiana and it is illegal. It is absolutely insane to me because of how much money they make off of it. It is insane. I think they just upped our taxes too for it, or something like that. But anyways, yeah, so that is, about the only thing that I like about Michigan. And like I said, I just have family all over Michigan. I've met one cousin and a few aunts in Kentucky when I was traveling to South Carolina. So that was interesting. My dad's side of the family. Most of them do not like colored people. And I also had an aunt that literally only, she only had anything to do with us because, obviously we were related. So yeah, there's that. My granny was actually a racist. She did not like my mom, and my mom did absolutely nothing to her. She was one of the people who was took from me at a very young age. Too young to do anything about situations, so 11, 12. And then my mom's mother from Michigan passed away in 2015, a few months after my daughter was born. one of my daughters. So that's a rundown on that. I am married. I've been married for almost 10 years now. When they say marriage is not easy, it is not easy. And you guys are going to see some of that too. You'll see a lot of family things. I'm also a mother of 5, and I have 1 stepson. My oldest is, I'm going to say the age that everybody's going to be. So 19, 18, 17, 12, and 9. I have a child that just graduated high school this year. I have one that's going to graduate next year, and so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that. My husband is a Caucasian man. You'll see him on the camera. I do a lot of food reviews, so that is what my TikTok is solely based off of. And I will fix my YouTube channel up to have my links in my bios. I'm just gonna tell a lot about my life and just talk to you guys. You guys are my therapists, okay? You know? So that should be interesting. I have 0 friends, and I mean, I have 0 friends. So I try to keep myself busy. I paint. I make little jewelry art that I will be posting on here as well, of me making things and whatnot. Trying to think. So that's kind of like a little rundown on my life. This is my cabinet. My bedroom is an anime themed. As you can see, I've put up a lot of anime stuff. So I was painting that, and I ran out of paint, and down the street is a dollar store. So I was like, ooh, this is a really pretty red. I'm gonna grab that with some other colors. And as you see, some stuck, which that wasn't from the dollar store. That was actually some really good expensive acrylic paint right there. And then I got from the dollar store. So as you can see, huge difference. And I cannot go the Dollar Tree route. So yeah, I'm gonna have to repaint all that. I have some Funko Pops. I have some more anime stuff. Talking about anime will be one thing. Now my favorite anime is Demon Slayer, of course. I have Nezuko's eyes on my neck, and then I have her animated character on my neck, and I'm saving this side for Tanjiro's animated. Now what I mean by that, the people who watch Demon Slayer, you should know there's like the anime, and then there'll be like specific scenes where the anime, like they'll be like super cute and look super different. So I have that caricature on me. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in this video as well. So you hear me talking about Demon Slayer a lot. Like I said, in my room, I've started the decorating process. I printed out a bunch of different photos, and I put them up in my room. So I love not only Demon Slayer, but Dandadan. I have JoJo's Cool Adventure or Wild Adventure. I can't even remember. What else? Dandadan is probably my second favorite. I used to be a huge Apex Legends fans, and then that slowly started drifting away, and I got into Roblox a lot. So you'll see me playing Roblox, especially with the kids. Electricity source. Let's try that again. Electricity source would be a generator. So we got out here right before winter hit, bought a generator, used it for about a month, And because we're new generator users, I had no idea how to fix things or what was wrong with it whenever it wouldn't shut back on, so kind of gave up on that. And I would just charge things at work and come home and use those resources like charging ports and whatnot. But now we have another generator that we just bought, and that one's been working pretty good. It is ran off of gasoline. The other one was a nicer one and a bigger one. It lasted longer. As far as like how big the gas tank was. And that is our source of electricity. Right now gas is super expensive, so struggling to keep electricity on is insane. That's one thing about doing this, is that you think that it is the cheapest way to do things because you don't have like rent and bills, like that to pay, but you really do. Like, you don't pay rent, but you pay an excessive amount for electricity. So you have electricity, you have heating, and you have air from this generator. Obviously, the more sources that you use, like air, the faster everything runs out. Using anything besides just hooking up a TV, it's just insane. So we hook up, instead of hooking up the entire generator, we just hook up an extension cord that has 3 ports on it. We use a fan, the TV, and Xbox whenever I want to play the game, or a fan, a charger, whatever the case may be. That's how we've kind of done it, and it's been lasting 10 to 12 hours. So that's awesome. We've learned how to use that resourcefully, literally, and not having to constantly change it out and not running out of gas, especially in the middle of the night. So as I was explaining about the electricity and whatnot, like I said, we use an extension cord instead of hooking up the entire RV. When we need the air, like I said, that when you use the air, you have to have the entire RV hooked up. And when you have the entire RV hooked up, the gas just drains. Literally, it just drains. I want to say it lasts maybe 4 to 5 hours, 5 hours max, with it being filled up completely and then running out completely. About 4 or 5 hours. You also get the lights from the generator. So if we're not using the lights and we're not using the air conditioner, then like I said, it's better for us to use the extension cord, to where it lasts anywhere between 10 and 12 hours with the fan. That has been good. Again, we moved in here right before winter. Summer hasn't been too bad because we have the air. Now, it was pretty bad when we did not have our second generator and it was about 100 degrees in here. And it was warmer inside than it was outside, so it didn't matter if you had all the windows open, if you had fans going, it was just boiling. So there's ups and downs, pros and cons as far as living out in the woods. Now, what I would love to happen would be to actually get everything from beautiful Mother Nature as far as like gardening and whatnot. So I'm still learning that. I did not do that this year because this year was crazy weather. And not only have we had like crazy weather, but like Canada smoke coming from here. and us having to stay inside an excessive amount has been crazy this year. I did grow a green onion plant that I will show you guys in a video as well. That's my little starter. That's my little starter kit. I got the little hairs, I think dead roots from an onion, and I wrapped it in wet paper towel. That bag. I say a lot, so excuse me for that. I have issues. So yeah, and it started to grow a bulb. So I put it on Facebook, and I'm like, y'all, I have absolutely no idea how I'm doing this or if this would even work, but it worked. And somebody said that'll last all year round. Even if it dies, it comes back to life. You can you'll never run out of green onion, and that is exactly how it's been. So I have my little starter garden, I guess you want to say. That's like my first actual little plant, or whatever you want to call it. I have some oregano seeds that I want to try out, and some bell pepper seeds, so I'm gonna see if that is something that I can get to stay inside while getting sun and whatnot. Just using resources as far as like the land, but with this being on my uncle's property, I don't know what all he'd want me to destroy. I mean, there's nothing you could really destroy besides taking down a lot of trees, and that's kind of what has happened. He showed us this area and was like, you got to get a chainsaw or an axe or whatever, chop it all down, and you stay here, and whatever. So we were like, okay, say less. We got that chopped down within a couple hours, and we were out here. As far as cooking, like I said, I do a lot of food reviews. I try to get a food review out maybe once a week. So there's that. I do a lot of grilling out here. That's like the easiest way to cook. I have like a conventional oven and skillets and whatnot, electrical wise, to cook. But like I said, it uses so much gas, and gas is so expensive. Like, I'm not trying to use that at all. So I've been doing a lot of grilling, which is also better for you anyways. So as far as cooking, that is our main source of cooking. I'd say it's using the grill. This RV, I call it an RV. It is a travel trailer. It has a bedroom in the back. In the middle, it has like a living room / dining area. To the right side, there's a dining room table with 2 couches or seats for the table, and then to the right of that, there's a pull-out couch that turns into a bed. The table also turns into a bed, so the table can be placed down and the pillows will lay flat. So there's 3 beds total in here. And then you have a kitchen area. Now, we have not used the kitchen area since we've lived in here for the past couple years. Nobody knows how to fix the water and how bad the lines are, anything like that. So we've kind of just not used it. We've turned it on a few times and it just smelled really bad. So we were like, yeah, I don't think we really want to deal with this. So we have like gym memberships, and go to the gym, not only work out, but shower and all that good stuff. So there's that. We are out in the country, so we burn our trash, or you have to pay for a big what do you call it, the big trash thing. So not just like one of the things that you could kind of like throw out to the side and they come and pick up. Like, you have to get one of those big trash things, especially without having an address. So if I had an address, I'd have a source of trash, but we don't, so we burn our trash. I think that's kind of like the rundown of everything. So we don't use the water, and then actually towards the back area there is the bathroom, toilet, shower, closet. Again, the water source has always been down, so we've never used the shower, just the toilet area. And now as far as toilet goes and emptying that out, we will, it's a big bucket, or a big bucket attached to the bottom of the trailer, obviously, that you fill up. We go number 2 in bags, so we put like a grocery bag or some type of bag inside the toilet, and we'll go number 2 in that, and that'll get burned. It's better for us because all we have to do is, when we know that it's gonna rain, or the day, like the day of or the night before, we will drain that, and then the rain just takes it all away. There isn't like a huge urinal smell because there's things that we buy to protect that. So that's a good thing, because nobody wants, you know, their place smelling like urine. What else? So that's the rundown on the travel trailer RV. I'm gonna show you guys some things inside of it. Like I said, it's really old, so it definitely does need remodeling, like really bad. Our biggest mistake was we weren't working, and we had got 2 husky puppies. We had never had husky puppies before, let alone, I don't think I raised animals alone or together for that matter, especially puppies. So we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. So they had destroyed a lot, because once we finally started going to work, we had to leave them home, obviously, and they weren't kennel trained. Like, a lot of things were just happening, a lot of things all at once, so it was kind of like, ugh. But they destroyed a lot of things. They were husky, so they chewed a lot of things. So again, like I said, things, they have to be replaced, they have to be fixed and whatnot. But other than that, I love it. We're working on buying a house. Until then, we're here. This is the RV rundown. This is my life. I hope you guys stay with me and tune in to what is not gonna be, you know, anything sugar coated. It's gonna be raw, real life, real footage, hardly edited. Yeah, so you guys just stick with me, join me for this crazy ride we call life. I've watched streamers, you know, as I was getting older and stuff like that, and I always thought I would love to do this. I would love to just, you know, not even necessarily be YouTube famous, but of course everybody wants, you know, the YouTube money. That would be awesome. But it was just something also to do while you're at home and you're bored. So I want you guys to stick with me, support me, make sure you like the video, and then you guys also make sure you comment down below on whether or not you would like to see a tour of the RV, and that'll be maybe my next video. So you guys let me know what you think, and thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.